ask yourself these three questions. In my work, do I come into contact with vulnerable people? Is my workplace at a higher risk of infection? Do I work on infrastructure or logistics that are critical to the territory? If your answer is maybe, or I don't know, you need to get the jab. Critically, the direction also applies to industries who directly face customers in circumstances where the worker may not know the vulnerability of the person they are interacting with. So it is simple. If your job includes interacting with members of the public, then you need to get the jab. If you work in hospitality, you need to get the jab. If you work in retail or in a supermarket, you need to get the jab. If you are behind the counter at the bank, if you're a receptionist or positions like that, you need to get the jab. If you are a barber, a hairdresser, a beauty therapist, you need to get the jab. All these workers, and many, many more, directly interact with members of the public. That means you are frontline workers in our economy. That means you must be vaccinated. Of course, there can be exemptions, but these are extremely narrow and must be backed up with medical evidence. Simply not wanting the vaccine is not a reason. Today, we are also announcing the date from which this mandate comes to effect. From Saturday, the 13th of November, if you have not received at least your first dose of a vaccine, you will not be permitted to attend your workplace in that role, and a failure to comply with the direction is a $5,000 fine. That means that workers must have received at least their first dose by Friday the 12th of November at the latest. You have 30 days. And given you can book an appointment within 10 minutes right now, one more month is more than enough notice. And then the same rule will apply for any worker in this setting who has not received both doses by the 24th of December. So at least the first dose by the 12th of November and double dose by Christmas. That is the deadline to keep working in these jobs. The direction includes a provision mandating booster shots as needed for these same workers in the future. It also allows employers to request proof of vaccination and requires them to keep a register of their staff's vaccination status. This direction does not list every employer whose workplaces will be subject to mandatory vaccines. You know your workplace better than us. You will know if it applies to you. Instead, we are setting out the clear principles that you need to consider. This week, the Territory has reached 80% first dose coverage for people aged 16 years and over. Our 12 to 15-year-olds are doing a great job, and more than a third have received their first dose so far, and it's growing every day. Our ambitious target was to hit 80% double dose by early November for Territorians aged 16 and over. And it looks like we will just about get there. If not by early November, then by mid or late November. Throughout the Territory, the vaccine rollout has seen large patches of success and some isolated patches of concern. The overall numbers are really good, and the regional numbers are pretty good. There are many remote communities that have incredibly high rates, but some that have worryingly low rates. You know I am passionate, sometimes aggressively passionate, about the importance of the vaccine. I want as many people as possible to be vaccinated. I am making sure we do everything possible to get everyone vaccinated. But the reality is this. At the end of the day, with all the best information, with all the goodwill, with all the repeated attempts, there are some people in some communities who have said no to the jab and could keep saying no. We can't hold people down and stick the needle in their arm. It is their choice, and some are choosing against it.